Installing R Markdown is a very easy task, but it does require a few steps. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is install the R Markdown package itself. So to install any package, we'll go in and we'll type install.packages. Notice I use the tab completion there. Quotes are Markdown, and the quotes there are necessary, so make sure that you have those in there. We need to be connected to the internet when we do this. It will download our Markdown and any dependent packages and install them. And now we have our Markdown on our computer, but we will also want to have another package on our computer that allows us to convert our Markdown files into PDF documents. The package that we're going to need there is called TinyText, which is spelled tiny text. So install.packages tiny text, just like this. We'll run that as well. It will install that. And now we have everything that we need installed. We want to go ahead and make sure that we can actually compile our Markdown documents. So to do this, we'll go up here to File, New File, and then scroll over to our Markdown. Your interface may look a little bit different just depending on the version that you have. We'll start off by compiling an HTML document, so we'll click OK. And here is a template, our Markdown document. Now there's two ways that we can actually convert this into the ultimate document that we want. We could go up here to Knit and click Knit, like this. It will ask us where we want to save it. I'll go ahead and save it in a test directory. So I'll click New Folder, Test, and I'll save it in here. The file name will be test. And notice that the file extension for our Markdown files is .rmd, whereas for our script files it's just .r. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save this. And now it's doing the compilation. And here it has actually converted this into a HTML file, the kind of file that your web browsers use in web pages. So we can actually see this in that directory, which is right here. So notice that where the test RMD file was before in the exact same folder, in the exact same directory, is now a test.html file, and that contains the output that we just generated. We can actually open this in any of our web browsers. So for example, if I double click this file, it will open up the exact same document in my web browser. This is Safari down here, which is Mac's default web browser. So I'll go ahead and close that, and I'll go back here and I'll close this in RStudio. And now let's just make sure that we can compile this into a PDF document. To do that, we'll go up to this YAML header and we'll change this to PDF document. And we'll go ahead and we'll click Knit again. It will automatically save it. And now it opens up as a nice PDF document that we could hand around or we could print out in an easier way. So we can compile our Markdown files into HTML documents or PDF documents, as well as a whole host of different kinds of documents. Now, the PDF file is going to be actually in the exact same directory as that HTML file was, and you can open it with any PDF viewer that you usually use, like Preview or Adobe Reader or anything else. Lastly, I mentioned that there was a different way that you can knit the documents into an HTML or into a PDF file. To do that, you can just hover over the knit button here and notice there's the hotkey combination next to the text that says knit to the current document that you can push on your keyboard that will allow you to not have to click the button, but actually just push those buttons on your keyboard to effectuate the compilation. So for example, just to make sure that you see this working, I'll click somewhere in the document and then I'll push on my keyboard Command-Shift-K, and it actually goes through the compilation process. Remember, as much as we can, we want to move away from using the mouse as we code.